Hello there, you're watching Sunrise here on Sky News. I'm Sarah Jane Meek. We start today with the escalating trade war between the US and China. Overnight, Donald Trump has announced new 10% tariffs on $200 billion worth of Chinese goods. Well, China is now considering how it will retaliate, but has stressed it has the tools to cope with the US president's latest move. Well, let's take a look at how we got to this point in what has become a global trade war. Well, in April last year, President Trump announced an investigation into steel tariffs, asking if the global imports could be a threat to national security. In August, he announced a second investigation, specifically targeting China. In January, Mr. Trump announced tariffs on imported solar panels, most of which come from China, and washing machines. In early March, he announced a global tax on steel imports at 25% and aluminium imports at 10%. China called this a serious attack on international trade. Well, later on that month, the US finalised the tariffs on China, sending global markets into a slump. But in April, China hit back, announcing tariffs on US imports, including a 15% duty on fruits, nuts, wine and steel pipes. After provoking international anger, Mr. Trump then postpones an increase on UK steel tariffs at the 11th hour. This happened in May. Well, the US temporarily pulls back the trade war, agreeing to put proposed tariffs on Chinese imports on hold. But the White House later said it is ready to impose a 25% tariff. China then hits back with the same scale tariffs it was hit by the US with. Our US correspondent Greg Milam is in Los Angeles. And Greg, that's the timeline of how we got to this point today. Just how serious could this be globally? I'm particularly thinking of impacts on the UK.
Well, I think when we'll see the market reaction into this, and we'll see again how spooked they are by the prospect of this trade war escalating, and seemingly a US president willing to escalate it with this move and willing to go further. Remember, Donald Trump is the president who said the trade wars were good and easy to win. He clearly believes that the US is in a position to win this one. They think the US economy is strong. They think China is slowing down. The difference here is the impact it might have in the US. Those previous tariffs, the impact was on industry in the US. The experts are saying these will have an impact on the things people buy: food, homewares, clothing, tools. And a lot of companies have been telling the president, there's been a consultation period, that this is a bad move because the impact will be felt here. They say tariffs are in fact a tax for those people who are buying these products. But none of that has had an impact. They have exempted a few products, but they're pushing ahead. In fact, Donald Trump has said if China retaliates, which they said they will do, the US is willing to go with another $267 billion worth of tariffs, and that is effectively everything that China exports to the US. That is the level we're at. The US believes it can win on this, but there are some serious voices, and we know there were voices within the Trump administration who said this isn't the way to go about business. This will be bad for the US and may well put at risk the recovery that's happened here. Donald Trump, though, believes he's right on this and is willing to push it as far as he needs to, because he thinks he's got a win on the cards here.
OK.